Let's get it.
Yeah. What up, y'all? It's your boy Can Too. If I can, you can too. This is Riding High Sports coming live from Riding High Podcast Studios. You already know I got my co-host with me, Lucky Lamar. We got some special people in the building. They need a special introduction. So I'm going to send it off right now to DJ Little King and let y'all know who's here.
Hit the button for him, King.
Hey, what's good with it? What's good with it, y'all? DJ Lil King back here behind the scenes. We got a special guest today, you know what I'm saying? Ben Stangin Customs, you know what I'm saying? Y'all done seen him on the podcast a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? He talked about the custom cleats. He ran through his life story, all that. We got him today joining the sports show, you know what I'm saying? Y'all give it up for Bino, man. Ben Stangin Customs.
Man, appreciate you coming down today, man.
Hell yeah. It's,
How you been?
shit good. Traveling, tired, but just staying busy.
Not tired of traveling.
Yeah, not tired of traveling. And everything's good. Just staying busy. Had a few days, so I figured I'd pop down here in the hometown and check on some family and friends. Come sit down with y'all and just chill.
I appreciate you for your time. Appreciate you for your time.
Appreciate you. Hell yeah.
So earlier before we were on, guys, before we started hitting the record button and stuff, we was chopping it up, man. And Bino got some cool, exciting new things happening here with Ben Stang Customs and everything that's going on. Just in case, for anybody that's been living under a rock, they don't even know what's going on. They just new to this. They new to you. Let them know what you do and how you got into it.
So long story short, just Ben Stangin Customs is my company and specializing in custom cleats, custom footwear of all sorts, and then it just kind of branched out to a whole bunch of other stuff as far as athletic wear or equipment, as for that matter. What got me into it was COVID era. Working for a company that had laid a bunch of people off, probably everybody, right?
Yeah.
And at the time, as a man, you can't let your family sink or nothing. So
Absolutely.
kind of put my mind to something that I really wanted to do. And I kind of just followed through with it. It was either just, you got to take a gamble. Sometimes I took a gamble, and, we're here now. So, pretty dope.
That's what's up. I know that you said you got some new adventures and endeavors going on with your custom game.
Yeah.
Speak on that a little.
Just kind of staying busy with what I have been doing lately. I have been doing some custom cleats for some AAA ball players that were getting ready to get called up, and did some work for them out there around the area where I currently live, and did it for them. 2 of them got called up in the process of, as soon as I was done doing it for them, they debuted it, of course, in the big leagues, and then I just got the call about, meeting here, meeting there. Long story short, I ended up getting a deal with the Nats organization to customize, cleats for the 24-25 season. So
Say that again for the people in the back. Yeah. That was the Washington Nationals?
Yeah.
That's the Washington
Nationals.
Nationals, guys.
Yeah.
Round of applause for my
That's
guys.
what I'm saying, dude. That's
congratulations.
big up.
That's
Big up because it's just to even be able to do AAA guys, to get the call that the Washington Nationals organization hits you up and be like, you know what, do our 24-25 season and make these custom cleats, man. That's got to be like a huge accomplishment and an honor in itself.
It started with the farm league under him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then met with them, and then one of the guys, actually, I think he was the vice president of the farm league there for the Fred Nats, and they were like, hey, we got some people that we could call that we feel like we could put you in. If it's the same organization, why not, right? So they made a couple calls, and then I ended up going down to D.C., had 2 meetings there in the same day. Yeah. Had a luncheon, then I had a break, and then went back for like a final, I guess, after their team had deliberated and whatnot. And, yeah, man, it's just what's cool is that the culture is now shifted, right? With everything when it comes to music, fashion, it's all intertwined with sports. Now, even like the tattoos, everything is just now part of sports and entertainment in itself. So, it wasn't nothing for me to be myself and go in there and give them who I am and not have to really put up a front. Now, don't get me wrong, getting in front of the right people, the yes or no, sir. You know how to flip the switch on and off. Yeah. But you also know to tell them up front what they're getting in the long run, too. And in the entirety of it in between, that you paint the picture for them up front, and it's kind of hard for people to say like no to something that's just fresh. It's new, it's something that's gonna, it's kind of like an in-house thing now. It's like no need to go and search out now. We're gonna pay this, X, Y, Z, whatever, and these guys could hit you up and we provide all the cleats. You just, hey, this guy has an idea and wants to sit down with you. Oh shit, so and so wants to sit down with me. Okay, cool. Like
That's a lot.
so, and it's pretty dope. Pretty dope. So we're just playing it by ear for now.
Did like custom cleats just like become like a new like thing recently? Because it almost feels like
Nah.
as far as like the NFL.
Nah.
Like, it almost seems like maybe there was like a ban on stuff like that, and now all of a sudden you're seeing the custom cleats because you didn't really see custom cleats really. I would say like 10 to 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I don't really think it's I don't think it's new like that. I say probably about a good 5-6 years ago was when it really started like popping. Like certain athletes have like a certain like effect on it, like Odell.
Yeah.
Players like that have going, but you're going to NFL.
Yeah.
Y'all are talking about baseball, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Baseball too, or any sport.
I really think like Team Jordan, that when you're able to wear like Jordan retros as cleats, that was kind of what was starting the customizing, that type of feel.
That's how I felt with like for instance, I sometimes I would see like people on the golf course and there'd be like Jordan's shoes that they turned into golf shoes, where they ripped the bottom out and then put it there where it's like you have your golf cleats on the bottom. That was one of the first things I was like, man, it's transitioning even to golf or to tennis or something else where they're wearing these, or even in boxing, you started seeing them wear Jordans like it's boxing shoes. And I was like, man, this trend is it's about to hit.
Yeah,
it is.
The first time that I saw, like, for baseball, the first player I remember like distinctly wearing something that wasn't Nike or Adidas like was Derek Jeter. He wore he was the first, like one of the first Jordan brand athletes to wear Jordan cleats on the diamond. And then as far as like NFL, like they had custom cleats, but you would only see them like off-season Pro Bowl. If you remember, Chad Johnson used to get fined for trying to wear custom cleats.
They all did.
He had like the picture of himself. He had the gold bottoms. Like, so it's more of like athletes have always had an impact as far as like the culture. Like, if it wouldn't be nobody
They were just
in the
restricted.
NBA, exactly.
They were just restricted.
And the first like player in the NBA to really bust that up was Allen Iverson. Like when AI came, the NBA had no idea what to do with him. David Stern tried.
He even brought the baggy shorts too.
Baggy shorts.
You
David
know.
Stern said, "Whoa! We need a dress code."
But
Right?
but the NBA was faster than the NFL to shift to culture.
They were.
Absolutely.
You know, in my
Absolutely.
opinion,
They were.
And I
they
think
know that
baseball followed the two sports. You know, and
Absolutely.
was kind of like shit. Like baseball always had its own type. And this is me because I play baseball. We play baseball, so like I think in my opinion, it was always like you have your own style. It's its own drip in baseball. It wasn't really
Baseball
like
still got that big house vibe.
you know, but now it's shifted over to like big customizing, you know, of the cleats, the painting, you know.
Because I feel even in baseball, right, talking about their own different type of swag, I feel the one thing that maybe football players, and at least in me growing up watching this, because baseball was one of those games where even back then, dudes were wearing big chains and just pulling them out before they bat so they could flex.
But
and
it was more
wasn't
the rope chains back then. Like
you're. But I'm saying, later
Now
you started
it's they
seeing
got
football.
them.
You started seeing football players wear chains on the field.
And as a football player, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I don't think I couldn't
like,
afford to
landing
do
on
that.
guy- imagine, like, I don't know if y'all played full contact. Imagine landing on a goddamn medallion this big. The hit hurts enough, and you go, and it pops out. So which means it moves in here.
Yeah.
Like that goddamn cross, pow.
Yeah.
No. Like, Jesus, I'm gonna have to put you on the locker.
But
like,
I always felt like, you know, a lot of things like baseball's jewelry game transitioned into other sports where people like,
Baseball
in
got
track,
drip.
now I'm wearing jewelry. I'm wearing these diamond earrings while I'm running. Or in football, you see them now wearing the chokers.
the tennis,
and like
the
that.
tennis chains.
ain't no
yeah.
point in making 100 M's if I can't show a mother lover I'm making
You ain't
100
lying.
M's.
Shit, it's even gone down to high school now with the NIL deals.
Bruh.
You even have like, for example, you have freshmen. Not freshmen. I'm sorry. You have junior going into senior 4 or 5 star quarterbacks in high school, and they're opting out of playing their senior year because they already got NIL deals and a a commitment to a college that already gave them a full ride. So it's like they'd rather sit out their senior year, not get hurt because that's what the college wants, and get millions.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, why not? You know, and that's a big reason why Nick Saban ain't coaching no more.
Absolutely.
Because the culture changed from what he's used to in his era. He did enough by saying, you know what, I don't mind that type of music in my locker room. I don't mind y'all getting hype. But look at our uniforms. We're going to stay structured. We're going to stay traditional. We're going to stay uniform. And then as far as like not being able to have just strictly going out and recruiting
The best
the
of the
proper
best.
way, the cream of the crop. Everybody wants to go to a winning tradition in fucking Alabama. Now they're going where the money's at.
Yep.
Now
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
now
yeah.
you-
Honestly,
and
but-
it's
Hold on, bro. Let him.
my fault.
I was gonna say you just see big stars now signing to smaller colleges, Division III colleges, JUCOs, bro. There's junior colleges now that have been sitting on so much fucking like university money, like booster money, alumni money, that they're like, fuck it, like we could start fucking getting some of these badass players to come over here for maybe a little cheaper on the dollar of what a bigger school would offer them, but we're going to give them everything they fucking want over here. And these dudes are like, hell yeah, I'm going, shit. And they're smarter now. You got agents now that are like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go somewhere like play for Prime? You want to try to go play for Prime? Or do you want to go fucking to this school over here where they're offering you all this on a fucking silver platter? These kids are like, hell yeah. A lot of them come from poverty. A lot of them come from like broken families and, you know, low income families. So they want to go ahead and get that money too and change their family's life. So I don't blame them.
Absolutely. No, I was going to mention like another coach, Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Krzyzewski leaving Duke was another reason. He wasn't ready to. He wasn't going to compete with money being thrown around like that. He didn't want to.
I think he was just old.
But
He was just
I mean,
like-
no,
He
but
couldn't win no more.
he came out and he admitted like I just wasn't ready to compete on throwing money at kids. That just wasn't his MO. He didn't know how to coach and recruit like that. But nowadays, you hear a lot of these coaches saying some of these kids when they get these recruitment trips or they meet them, they're meeting with the coach. They already have that. This is my standing offer, and if you ain't reaching my standing offer, I'll find a school.
But I feel like it's been
Right.
like
Yeah,
that
no,
the
I get
past
that, but I'm just saying it's
50
just more-
years. It's just now
But it's just
you
more-
you can say it publicly.
Yeah, it's just more blunt. They're just more upfront with it. They're just more like they're just upfront with it now, and they don't have to hide it because you don't have to hide it. And now with that new rule that just got paid, where schools can just actually pay players, not just get NIL deals, it's gonna be even worse.
So at the end of the day, at its core, the NCAA has always been a business, whether you're playing basketball, track, baseball, right? What it is now is your Nevin Shapiro's can actually call the school now and say, hey, bro, I can take this threat public, and they can't do nothing about it. Now the dude who owns car dealership, now, okay, I get paid, but this is what I think. We need a entity that is in place for these young athletes, so that way you don't end up like a Marvin Harrison Jr., who right now nobody's talking about it, who's in the middle of a freaking dispute with Fanatics.
Lawsuit.
And now his jersey can't get sold. You know what I mean? Like, so what happens if kid signs with Texas because Booster promised him this? He got his transaction. Now kid goes, you know what?
That
Freaking-
is actually going on right now
Yeah,
with the
like-
kid from Florida. He committed to Florida, and Florida made a whole bunch of false promises. I think they promised him
million.
up to like $10 million, and they didn't come on their end of the bargain. So I think this kid's
It was
in
just $1
Arizona
million.
State right now. I may be wrong, but he's suing the
Yeah.
suing the NIL people from Florida. He's suing Florida. He's suing
Well,
everybody.
but
He has
see,
to
here's
deal
what
we
with
talked
it.
about it like about 3 episodes back. Yeah, it's $1 million that he was guaranteed. He went to the
No,
school.
it was 10.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
no,
talking
but
about.
he,
It was
he was
10.
supposed to get that $1 million in that first year and never did.
So-
didn't get no playing time, so he transferred out, and now he's pulling it on blast. And there are a lot of people talking about, is that going to be the effect now in this thing where you're going to offer these kids or promise these kids the world, you don't give it to them, now they're going to take you to court.
I'm blaming that on his representation because they should have told him, hey, don't sign this letter of intent until you get your money. That's what I'm saying. Like, there needs
But
to
I
be
believe-
someone representing these kids that say, hey, bro, they told you they're going to give you $1 million. Don't sign until you get half.
But I believe...
And the deal was, it was for 13.85 million.
yeah,
How
but
much
he
does it
only
cost
was
for
only
a
there, he was only there
representative?
for a year, and he didn't get this money his first year.
Yeah,
Like,
he didn't
just
get
like a professional
but
contract. I get X amount
I'm-
at signing.
But I'm not okay. This is the one thing I'm not sure with the new rules. I don't know. Still in college, you can have representation yet anymore.
If
you still
you're
have to
paying
wait
them
unless you're going.
professional.
No, that's through you and your own. Like you, it's not. You can't have an agent yet. You can have. I believe in still in the NCAA rules in any sport. You can't have an agent yet. Once you register and hire an agent, you have to start going for declare for a pro.
But most of the times, I'm under the age of 18, which means I have to have a legal guardian or representation
college,
to talk for me.
But in college, like once you get to college and you start there's loopholes for everything. I don't think there's like the entity that you want, where there should be somebody to help represent them, like some type of union, not the NCAA. Yeah, like I think there should be somebody
right here. It says NCAA rules generally prohibit college athletes from hiring agents to represent them to professional sports teams or organizations. It says, however, student athletes are permitted to hire agents to help them negotiate name, image, and likeness contracts.
Those are NILs.
Those are the NIL
and that goes to saying publicists, because publicists are more on the entertainment side, which is more like a NIL deal. So, but I mean, y'all, Cantu, you were on the right track. I mean, you were right. He was right.
The way the Cantu saying it, like the way that he's speaking, like he's like almost like, okay, I'm coming out of college and now I need an agent to help me get to a team.
Yeah,
this is more of like almost like a manager.
Yeah, I would say more. I would say
so
like a financial. I feel like a
financial.
It's more like a financial advisor. Or
not even a financial advisor, because
I feel like you're gonna need somebody.
They're telling you if this is a good deal or if it's not a good deal.
Yeah,
That's all.
More like I get it. But I think there should be a whole body for all college students to be like, hey, let's say they can afford to get one. Or they just need to ask questions. There should be a place where they can go, like like a student
argument, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there needs to just how fuck it. Let's take it to the yard. New inmate comes in. Before he get anything, who he got to go talk to? Goddamn OG, pop boss, whoever. Right or wrong. Right now, what is that OG gonna do? He's gonna lay down the groundworks and rules for how everything's gonna structure and work. Now he knows the rule. He knows how to operate. Same thing that needs to be done with these kids. These kids, like you said, a lot of them come from poverty. A lot of them come from dirt. Now, imagine if one person just said, hey, bro, look, before you sign that, make sure they don't play you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's been countless stories where athlete says, hey, but this coach, I'm going to play for this coach, but then coach leaves. It's the same shit. Like, let's say, and my original point was like, let's say that kid signs, he gets paid, but now playing time comes into question, he transfers. What happens now? Does that NIL from that school, can they now sue kid? Like, how does that work now? That's another Pandora's box that we haven't even.
An athletic scholarship is actually only good for 1 year.
I'm not talking about the scholarship.
Yeah, he's talking about your NIL money. Your NIL money don't come from the school.
I'm talking about my 3-year NIL contract.
But I don't think you come from the school.
I don't think you can.
That come from different businesses.
That's what I'm saying. So what happens when you?
The business would be willing to
the
risk.
The business will say, "Hey, fuck that." Mike Chalkia will say, hey, I'll pay you. Thomas J. Henry has a deal with Quinn Ewers, right, to stay at Texas, right? Let's say Quinn Ewers says, hey, Thomas J., I'm transferring to Southern Cal.
In my opinion, I think the only exception would be like if you're a big 4 or 5 star player.
Quinn Ewers is a starting quarterback.
Where they're going to follow you no matter wherever you go, type of shit.
I think it's kind of like what I said. Like, I think they need a union, something that's different that everybody can go to. Yeah. Not just those people are going to be like, well, what do I make off the deal either? Like, it's just a straight governing body. They used to think it was the NCAA, but the NCAA never acted like that. That was supposed to be their whole purpose, to help them transition as a student athlete into the professional, and even help guide how universities govern these student athletes at their facilities. But that never worked out. It's always been, a business, and they've always made money off them. But I agree. They need something, but it would have to be a separate entity from those things, but enough where everybody has access to it, no matter what school you go to.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But I know. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to think, how would that come about, and who would put it together, and who would actually, that's what I'm just thinking. Yeah.
Now,
so if somebody going to transfer out of this school to another school, is this school going to buy this kid out?
And then it
and they ain't letting kids transfer to other schools for free.
No.
Now, you think they're going to let that kid out of a $10 million? Fuck no.
But a lot of them ain't even making that kind of money.
Some of them are.
Yeah, but those
imagine if
Shadur
says, hey, Dad, I'm talking
about the average. We want but we're going for the average student that don't have that.
But the thing is, these students, like cattle, and they slave.
Yep.
Is what it is. Then we're gonna trade you somebody
Yep.
else that might can use a little better than what we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we're gonna fix you up before we trade you.
And make your tape look just good enough to where somebody they might have gave you a third. I mean, gave us a third round. You had one extra touchdown this season, so now they give us a second or a conditional second. And which is why I'm not a fan of like when people say, "Oh, I don't understand why." For example, I don't understand why CeeDee Lamb's holding out. CeeDee Lamb's ass better hold out.
Yeah, and this is a good
He's
segue.
an easy top 3.
This is a good segue to the next topic I was going to bring up,
I'm an
which
Eagles
is
fan.
Coleman Hawkins, right? Coleman Hawkins was a player that played. He was a star at Kansas State. He went to the NBA Combine, performed. From what his agent says, you're not in the top 10. You're probably not even in the top 2. You might have to go undrafted free agent. Already played 4 years at K-State. Decided he's withdrawing his plea for the NCAA, saying he's trying to go pro. He has one more year of eligibility. He's going to go back to college. But instead of going to K-State, he's hitting the transfer portal because he wants to see where he can make the most money his last year and who's going to use his talents and to see if it'll up his draft. Do you think he's in the right for doing that?
Absolutely, it's his career. He's in the right. Now, are you asking me if he's right or my opinion on it?
Do you think it's the right move?
If he feels that's his best move for his career, he's absolutely right, 1,000%. Now, in my opinion, is he looking? He's just trying to secure money because
That's why because
to
he's
be
not going
honest with
to
you,
be a top 10
at
He's
this
not
point in
20.
his career as a basketball player. He's a 5th-year player. NBA is a long shot at this point for him.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I got to say on that. Like by NBA, like if you're not going after your freshman year, they got questions.
Sophomore.
The latest
Junior's
you can
a
push it
stretch.
is sophomore.
Junior's a stretch.
There's junior year, you're out of there, bro.
I don't know. I beg
So
to
as
differ,
a 5th-year player in the NCAA basketball development system, it don't matter. If
Because
he
you're
can go
already,
back,
what,
he can
23,
do whatever.
24 years
Yeah,
old?
because he redshirted as a freshman. He played the 3 years at K-State.
He's out of there, bro.
And he's got his senior year left of eligibility. But I mean, like, I don't know. I don't. I'm just saying from the way y'all saying how, hey, you kids want to move to different schools to make maybe he can go to an opportunity to really showcase his talent. He was projected to be in the top 2 rounds as a player, but he just didn't perform at the combine, and his draft stock fell.
Remember last week when me and King were trying to get you to understand the concept of maxing out? He's a maxed out player.
He's
Well,
hit his
I mean,
ceiling.
He's
But,
hit his
I mean, we
ceiling.
don't know yet until he goes and does it.
He showed me 5 years of the same shit.
By the same projections and the same analogy or the same metaphor, the same kind of example you're trying to say, you could have said the same for Tom Brady being the 6th round pick.
No, you can't. You can't compare basketball
Well,
to football.
I'm
And let me
just
tell you
saying,
why.
just
Because
say-
in football, you're not even eligible to go to the draft until after your junior year. And like we're saying,
I'm just saying, like, whether you're thinking he's gonna get
college,
drafted, if you think it's so
these
low and he
NBA
maxed
teams,
out.
They want a player that's a freshman, one and done, or they want a sophomore that's raw as hell that could have been a one and done his freshman year, but he decides to come back. If you're a senior in college, you're probably not going to be drafted. That's
I mean,
just
I don't
straight
know.
up.
There's a lot of
Look
them
at
that
the
go
dude-
back to go try to just win. A lot of them do. I'm not saying he's maxed out because this dude is a star athlete.
He is
The
maxed
dude,
out.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not
saying he's maxed out.
until I see him play in the NBA. I can't.
He ain't gonna play.
I'm
He ain't
gonna
gonna
assume.
play. And we're telling you, he's not gonna get a chance to play in the NBA.
We could put a pizza on it. We'll see. I mean, I'll take the risk because I have hope for the kid because I hope he does make it to the
So,
NBA. I hope all of them that
If he
that
does
try.
make it
That's
to the
his goal.
NBA,
but I don't know.
It'll be some summer league type shit. Go
Maybe.
ahead, Dino. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he said pizza. I said shit. I know. That's what
But
I know.
this
after this one.
This kid is 25 years old. Not 25. He's 23, 24 years old. They're not looking at him as like his potential. Like no one's gonna draft this kid because that's already 3-4 years of a career that he's spent.
I mean,
you know
I'm
what
just
I'm saying?
saying,
Like in college.
like I said, I mean, that's what it was. Story was the headline. I thought as somebody, I thought I looked at it as bad as like you go to the NBA, you're trying to go to the combine. I get it. You want to come back and try to build your stock up. I understand
That should be after your, that should be after your
let me put
freshman
it in
year.
perspective. Let me put it in
You're doing it
perspective.
after your senior year, bro.
Look,
It's time to put that degree to use.
All I'm saying is I thought it was bad on him not going back to his team to help K-State. I thought it was bad him coming back, and then you know what? Forget K-State. I'm going somewhere else.
Where I can try to make some money.
So, yeah, and that's where I thought it was wrong. I thought if you're going to come back and build your stock, go with the team and the system that helped you even get to the NBA Combine. Because obviously it was working for you if you got invited to go to the Combine.
As a fifth-year senior, you're holding up a spot for our freshmen.
Yep.
No, I get it, but I'm just telling you how I
Especially on
felt.
basketball. And football,
and
I wouldn't agree with that on football, but in basketball, a college basketball roster is only 15 players.
yeah.
Like, bro, you just put that degree to use already.
I get it, but
let me show you something.
he ain't even know. But
Let me show you
Put that
something.
degree to
go
use
ahead.
already.
How old is he?
I don't know.
What's his name?
Coleman Hawkins.
Okay, I'm going to look it up. Go
Just
ahead.
give me real quick. Because to put in perspective, he's a fifth-year senior, right?
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is 26 years old,
Yeah.
right? This guy is probably like, 24, 25?
I'm looking it up right now.
I
Jason
don't
Tatum
know
is
how old he
halfway
is.
through his NBA career, right? Meaning 5 years from now, Jason Tatum's going to be, 31,
Yeah.
32? So that guy's going to be 30, 31?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what impact is he going to... So it's going to take him 3-4 years to develop, meaning he's going to be 26, 27 when he's okay in the NBA? Because
But you act like it doesn't happen.
It took him 5
I
years
know,
to
but
understand college.
Does it happen, though?
No.
It
don't.
never happened. So if I pull out one case out of the whole NBA history, you're gonna tell me, "Oh, well, that's just one."
No,
case.
you can't.
I'm just
you
saying.
can't say out of the NBA hit because that game back in the day was way different. Ralph Sampson went to Virginia and won NCAA Player of the Year 3 years in a row and was still the number 1 draft pick. No, in today's game, no senior is gonna be a number 1 draft pick.
Because
you're
how
too
about-
I hear what
old.
you're saying.
You're already
Yeah,
too
I get
old.
what you're saying.
To be honest with you, like your players, like I'm sorry, I'm forgetting this. Your Waltons, your maybe Kareem, but if your ass is in college for 2 years, what's wrong with you? Do you have an injury we don't know about? Do you have a problem with your left? Can you not finish at the rim through contact? Are you a 1 foot in and can't power through contact? What is
That's
your
why
issue?
I don't even get into basketball.
You know what I
'cause
mean?
It's just
Because
too
they're
much,
totally
too
different
technical.
monsters. Because
too
basketball,
technical.
It
it's
becomes
about
it. Yeah, it
especially
really is.
getting drafted. It's about potential. You know what I mean?
He'll be
Jokic
23
was
years old by the time the draft rolls
So
around
he's
next
3
year.
years younger than
Okay.
Jason Tatum.
Tell you what, I'll give you an example right now. Who was a 4-year person and got drafted? Kenyon Martin.
Bro, I'm saying
know, I'm just saying.
this ain't those times.
Somebody it can.
Bro,
I'm not knocking the
after
kid,
the
but I'm
NBA
just saying
after the
it can
NBA
be done.
Council, after the NBA Council, the one and done rule. That's when, if that's when it became you go to college for 1 year, and if you ain't ready, you might as well just be there for 3-4 years, and if you ain't ready after your sophomore year, you might as well start working on that.
I agree.
you might as well start working on that.
Most of them are one and done, and they get in. Those are the top ones. But I'm saying there's still some people that stay and then keep moving.
And walk-ons are rare
What was the
now.
name? Homeboy from
The ones that
Wait,
stay.
Kenyon Martin Jr. or senior?
Wasn't even how long was Steph Curry at Davidson?
4 years.
Okay.
And walk-ons are rare.
Well, how long was the dude? What's the name? The other guy,
wait.
the dude that came out of Butler. What was
Jimmer?
Yeah, not Jimmer Fredette. How long was he there?
How long has he been in the
Or,
NBA?
and the other guy from Creighton. Some people
the
stay.
coach's son?
How long was wasn't it, he went to Indianapolis or something? He played for the Spurs. There's some people that do it. I'm just saying, and not everybody it is. And I get it what you're saying. Like if you're not a one and done, you're not going to be the top 10. I'm not saying this dude's a top
And
10
again, when
prospect.
Steph Curry came out,
if you're not 20
But I'm
years
just
or
saying he's not
younger,
saying he
you're not
can't
going
get
to be a
drafted.
top 10.
I'm just
straight
saying
up.
he's just not like he can't get drafted.
and did you say Kenyon
But
Martin?
so keep going. Like
For him to
just
get
going,
drafted, he needs to go out this year and put up 30 and 15.
All right, we're moving on with basketball. If you're gonna go, so we saw the Celtics won. I mean, it's still basketball, but Celtics won, right? They beat the Mavs. They got 18 championships now. You called the pick. You did a great job. He said Jaylen Brown was the best player. Got the MVP. He got outvoted to Jason Tatum 7-4. Ended up taking it. Now that the Celtics have 18, they're the most all in NBA. Is that the best team in the league overall? Like history wise, legacy wise, is it them now?
It just depends on I guess how you look at your own legacy. Because people who favor their team are going to look at their legacy a certain way. So in my opinion, I mean, as of right now, yeah, they're the best team. They just won. Overall, as far as bringing home records or bringing home trophies, that I would say Celtics. But again, people are going to have their favorites and say no. This team did this and this amount of time. Look at how many years it took them to win. everybody's gonna have a different opinion, but that's just how I look at it overall.
No, I agree with you. What about you, Logan?
I say the best team this season, absolutely. But my thing is, because I'm a massive JT fan. I'm a big last week I told you Jason Tatum's my favorite player on the team. Jaylen Brown deserved that MVP. I want to see in the NBA. I think the NBA has too much of a massive landscape for there to be one favorite team, because who's to say that Giannis and Lillard don't find them a third piece? Who's to say that if New York doesn't get ran into the ground by Tibbs, that Jalen Brunson doesn't do I want to see a team win 2 in a row, because we haven't had that in a minute. It's been a minute since somebody's went on a
Back to back.
2, 3. When was the last three-peat?
And
that used to be how
Lakers.
that used to be how
It's
you
been a long
stamped
time.
yourself.
That's when you
in
knew
the
it was a
NBA.
dynasty. Yeah,
Dynasty would be
dynasty,
like,
it was a three-peat.
in these 5 years we won 3. You know what I mean? Now in these 5 years, Boston won 1, Denver won 1, Toronto won 1, LA won 1, then Miami snuck in there and lost to that rando championship run. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a true dominant force on either the East or the West that can consistently get to the finals. Do I think that the Boston Celtics have a good shot? Absolutely, especially if KP stays healthy. But as far as
It goes back to what we were saying earlier. They're still young.
they're still
Yeah,
young.
they're still
He's but I like him in the East. I got him coming back out of the East though.
I think
Somebody said the Sixers.
legacy-wise, overall, since they have the most championships, they deserve to be on top.
Are we talking about the?
Yeah, just because I said
Boston
legacy,
as a whole, right?
as
Okay.
a whole organization, because now they have 18.
I agree.
I believe with that, it
got no hate
solidifies
for 'em.
them as the best one. Lakers behind them with 17. There could be, you could probably make an argument for 3 and 4 on a different number of teams.
Somebody
But-
did a stat that more than half of those championships for Boston was when there was 8 teams in the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But you got to.
That goes back to what I was saying at the beginning about
I'm saying a chip
fans,
is a chip.
a fan, and a hater.
gonna-
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Somebody who hates their
Yeah,
team.
they're
with
gonna
a
fix
passion.
them stuff.
Man, fuck the Celtics.
Yeah.
They
Like-
motherfucker,
A chip's a chip.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. And they're not made easy to win, regardless. And what I liked so much about this Celtics team is it was very organic. They went through the ups and downs in the beginning of the season. They came back together. When they thought it was going to be like a JT that was going to run it, hold it for them, they were able to turn to Brown to step up and be that glue. Solidify them. I also think the main reason they won the series, Porzingis back in the lineup. He was missing for most of the playoffs when he got hurt. Came back, and he made a dominant force in the paint where your alley-oop game, your give and go, the way they like to operate was just not working for them. Even though if you look at the stats, they shot about the same three-point ball for both teams that night on Game 5. What they lost is offensive rebounds, putbacks on the board, actually converting, free throws. There was a lot of things they just really, the Mavs just struggled on. Even though Luka put up 43 points, it wasn't enough because they weren't doing it on both ends, where I feel like that is Luka's downfall. He's not a defensive player. He really isn't.
He trash on defense.
But where the Celtics are is they are off. Everybody on the court, all 5 at any given time can go 100% full throttle on offense and 100% pressure on defense. They all can move their feet. They all can play. And especially now when they had 2 bigs actually dominating the paint, and you really just had to worry about the perimeter in your little mid game. They took it. They showed the Mavs why they were the better team throughout that series. And I believe you really saw it in game 1 and 2 at home with Boston.
I agree with that.
And Brown, I agree with him on the MVP pick. It was great. It was just nuts. So, I got a question for you. We've been talking all this basketball. Is there somebody in the league which you would want to do custom shoes for?
Hold on, yeah. King, fucking freak stupid, dog.
Freak texting you.
Yeah, he's in it. Nah, because with my glasses, I have my phone like this, and all I'm doing is just looking down without picking it. I don't want to pick it up, so it looks like I'm asleep. This nigga's wake your ass up, and I'm like, you stupid, dog.
He don't got the volume on.
But no, that's why. And look, he sent me a picture. Look at me looking like I'm asleep. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm looking at my phone.
This is a Riding High exclusive.
That motherfucker's funny. Go ahead. You were asking me.
See, we've been talking all this NBA talk. Is there somebody that you would want to make a shoe for, a custom shoe for that that would be your go-to guy in the that would be your dream cause at this point for an NBA player?
Oh, NBA.
Yeah.
NBA, strictly NBA, and this is a current player.
Yeah, current, past, and then we could say your all-time person you'd want to make a shoe for.
Okay, current player, NBA. Man.
Or even past. It don't got to be current. Just
Nah.
NBA.
We'll do a current and a past.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I had to say current NBA player, I'd probably have to do Damian Lillard, probably.
Damian Lillard? That'd be live.
Because he always wears like some off the wall
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah, like and just exhilarating, high flying. He's just high energy.
It's Dame time.
And I have to throw honorable mention. Just
Yes, go ahead.
And I mean, I don't know where he's currently at, so y'all might know. But Russell Westbrook.
That was gonna
probably.
be my pick, bro.
Yeah,
I
Russell
would
Westbrook.
definitely design it.
It's
he with
only
the
it's
Clippers?
only
Is he
because
on the Clippers?
He's with LA.
it's only because how they play. They do a lot where they go up the lane, where they take it up,
Very acrobatic.
whether they flying or whatever they doing, getting fouled, whatnot. A lot of camera angles, slow motion,
Shine on the shoe.
So I've lucked out with quite a few. Anais has hooked me up with quite a few.
Shout out Anais.
Shout
Somebody
out
give me his
Anais.
autograph. I love my Philadelphia Eagles.
Shout out
I'm so
to my
glad they got
nephew,
him.
That ain't
Anais.
fam. Gig
If
'em.
you watching, man, proud of you, man. We proud of you, nephew, dog.
Let me get that first touchdown ball though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no.
Make that happen, Unc.
As far as past player, I'd have to say, I probably if I could only choose one, I'd probably have to do like Vince Carter.
That'd
Oh,
be
you want that
live.
dunk frame?
Yeah.
Again, I like to see now. Picture that. Imagine if he would have did that on a poster and he had
Imagine
my
if,
shit.
imagine if he jumped over the 7-8 with your shoes
dunk
on.
of the world.
Yeah, like shit like
It would have
that.
been the dunk and the shoe hurdle across all around the world.
Right.
Bro, you
So-
be up there with Jordan. You be
Yeah.
Jordan brand.
So overall, who do you have like your all time like who's the one go like you would want to make in any sport, anything you could do a custom work for?
Can I pick one for every sport?
You can.
Let's just
Yeah.
say the top. Let's just say
okay.
football, basketball, baseball.
Okay, bet.
Football for sure. Michael Vick.
Okay.
I would have loved to have done a pair for Vic.
Would you have kept the shiny bottom, the mirror bottom?
Oh, I would have kept whatever he wanted, but yeah, there would Mike Vick for sure. Basketball, like I said, Vince Carter.
Okay.
And then and baseball, if I had to pick just one fucking baseball player, it'd probably be. And let's just do one present, one past. So present would be Ellie De La Cruz from the Reds.
Ooh, man,
I
he one of my favorite players right
He's
now.
doing a lot.
He's
and
so speedy.
a lot of angles. So
Man.
excited.
He got around the bases in what, 10-9?
Yeah, he's fast.
That's insane.
That boy, he's
and
fast.
that's with turns.
Yeah.
too,
Bro,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying? Like,
90 feet. I don't even want to do the math on that, bro. That's
So-
insane.
pass, I would say Yadier Molina.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yachty.
And those are my
Those would be your-
those are my go-tos. So I mean, and one day maybe I did a pair for Donovan McNabb. So I've done the pair for like people who don't play that weren't playing
First of all,
playing
that's
anymore.
a goat. Give him
Yeah.
a cheer.
Shout out to Don. What's
Yeah.
up, man? What's up, man?
We got a lot of Eagles love in this room.
Yeah, man.
And I hope it's driving Kansu up the wall.
So
It's not.
my cleats are sitting in his trophy room in Arizona at his house. So that was cool. Got to do that for him.
That was live
And
with
then,
it.
all of Anais' cleats, and
Birds.
we got some stuff in the works ready for this upcoming season.
Go Birds.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And then don't forget the Nats, man. We got them.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So-
that means you're gonna do it. That's a good chance of what's gonna be Bryce Harper.
No, Bryce plays for the Phillies now.
Oh, that's right.
he's
Okay,
been
not
with
with the
Phillies
Nats.
for-
Yeah.
that's right.
And this is actually within the organization. It could be for it could be for a single, double, triple A
Anybody.
ball player. Yeah, it could
Okay.
be somebody up in the
It's the
in
golden
the
ticket
actual
for any-
active roster.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So just looking forward to just being part of something. Is dope enough already.
That's what's up.
We'll see how the first year goes. It's we're gonna play a year, but I guess the first year we're gonna see. So I got to look at it like an athlete myself, right? I got to go in there,
Yeah.
perform.
Hell yeah.
I got to make sure that they want me and extend my contract, and that's exactly what I plan to do. They getting the Greenwood nigga anyway, so
Did you get to y'all get to watch the fight over the weekend?
Yeah, I saw it. I actually
yeah.
saw
A bit of
it.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw it in Idaho.
You did?
Yeah, I was in Idaho. I was
Man,
chilling.
yeah, for y'all.
Talking about the Davis fight?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tank versus Martin.
Yeah.
We got to watch I was over here at the house doing the prelims, and we were watching. They had the good
Hey,
prelim
man,
fight.
you got to put money in the tip jar.
And and then it came to Tank and Martin came down. Davis ended up getting that TKO in the 8th round. It went
Tell the
down.
attendant I need a Newport out of there.
It was a great fight. I had Davis winning. I didn't think Martin was going to do anything from all the press conferences and everything. It was.
Hey,
in
that
his
was
head.
a close ass fight.
It was good though, because if you looked at Tank at the end of the press conference, his face was beat up.
Yeah.
He got a whooping in it.
Yeah,
but he
he
caught
did.
Martin good with that upper, and it just knocked that boy back in the 8th round. Y'all got any thoughts on it?
They call him Tank for a reason.
Yeah, if if it would have went to a decision, I wouldn't have been mad if the other guy would have won.
Martin.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad.
You know, in my opinion, I just from looking at big pay-per-view bouts and then, defending the belt, especially somebody like Tank, I look at it like if it goes speaking on what Boston said, if it goes to a decision, you better have really been beating up the dude that you might have
take the belt.
If you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Yeah, you might have knocked him down or knocked him to a knee or something. But he kept getting up. But you had to have whooped his ass to take a belt by decision. But if you fought like Martin, let's say he continued to fight the way he did, and Tank continued to fight the way he did, that was going to be Tank's belt, in my opinion, after the decision.
Yeah, I think Tank still would have
Yeah,
won.
I think I wouldn't have been mad if a decision
it was
was
a
a
split.
win.
Right. No,
Yeah.
no,
I
I
wouldn't
hear
complain.
Martin did his thing.
He was working.
He was working.
Yeah.
He
He
just
was
got caught with
working.
that
Well,
uppercut
look, this
real
how
quick.
this how I look at it, Cat, too. In boxing, every fight now that Tank has had, every fight gets like in our heart, in our eyes, it looks like it's getting quote unquote harder and harder. And I think this dude, what he does in the first opening, I give him the first 4. Lucky maybe 5-6 rounds. He's sizing the dude up. He's catching his timing down. He's seeing his angles. He's seeing his cardio. He's, yes, he's in his corner.
Yeah.
But, body language says everything. And a lot of these corners, like your team, and they're in there telling you, and they're telling you what they want to do. He's looking, and they're telling him, he's like, oh, okay, motherfucker. You telling him to do that? I'm going to catch his ass with the counter over here. And just looking at different things that experience brings to the table. Like, yeah, he could deal with a busted ass eye.
He reminds me a lot like how you
Look at the
you were just-
paycheck for millions.
Yeah. But the way you were describing his opening rounds, up to 4 or 5, is very similar to what I feel like Canelo Alvarez does, where he sizes you up.
Same
He's just
thing.
saying the same thing, just because you
I
think
feel like that's risky, though.
Yeah, it is. It's very
But you know what I think that
Because
is
look at
too?
dudes like Martin didn't look like he
But
was
you
going to
know,
slow down.
you know what
did
that
that.
does too. Look, those are champions who are used to defending their title. Who now, like Canelo said in his post-fight interview, he said, "Hey, bro, I'll fight whoever the fuck you want me to fight if the money is right. I'm there." He's like, "We'll fucking fight right now. I don't give a fuck who it is." Like the way he says, "I don't give a damn who it is." But he's fought everybody already for little pay and beat the dog shit out of them. So now everybody he is fighting, y'all can say they're the hardest that are okay. If I'm asking for this much, I expect to fight the hardest motherfucker because, you wouldn't have it any less. They're not going to pay you all this money to fucking fight a dude that ain't bringing that type of money through the gate. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these fighters like Canelo and Tank, what's the one thing they got in common?
Don't forget Terrence.
What's the one thing they all got in common?
First couple rounds.
They're defending titles. You know what I'm saying? And they're on streaks to where like people say, we thought this dude was gonna beat him, but wait till he fights this dude. Oh well, shit, dog. He hit him with this. He caught him, but this next dude, that's been calling him out. Man. It's
They said that same thing about Floyd 50 times.
Again, bro, like how they say, history repeats itself. These are just newer fighters that are
doing the same.
bigger, faster, stronger. They're coming in at a younger age now, fighting for world titles now, and just kind of like a sidestep to like UFC, right? Looking at UFC, these motherfuckers actually think that like you could come in at whatever age and dominate. You actually can. The kid Rojas from Mexico came in at 17 years old in the UFC,
Yeah.
won his contract to get into the UFC, had his first professional UFC debut right after his birthday at 18, and has been beating the dog shit out of the people he's been fighting, and then just won this past UFC pay-per-view.
Yeah, what'd he say? Dana, where my money?
Yeah, bro, he's 19
he's
years
he's
old.
trying to buy his mama house.
He's 19 years old, bro.
Dude's a
So
beast.
like, you know, these kids, whether it's boxing, UFC, basketball, whatever, they're coming in a lot younger,
yeah.
a lot bigger, a lot stronger. They're jumping higher.
Yep.
They got longer reach. You're like, damn, bro, where the fuck were you at when we needed you on our
No
team?
shit, right.
Like,
Bro, I'm looking at all these kids doing backflips at the AAU tournaments. I'm like, where was this?
you know?
But to answer Droop's comment,
What's Drew saying? I
it
can't
says,
read that. I can't see that.
who's that one dude, Canelo ducking? I say he's
Wasn't that
ducking.
the one that was on the Tank undercard? The one that fought before
It's
Tank?
probably Terrence
Benavidez
Crawford.
or
No, nobody
Ben,
wants to smoke with
was it
Terrence.
Benavidez?
I wouldn't
Something
put my
like
house
that.
on it.
I don't
even
know
got
if
a
it's a-
house,
Is
but
it
I would buy
Benavidez?
one
I'm
just to
not
bet on
sure.
Terrence Crawford.
I think they need to get something going. But
What up, Drew?
yeah, you're right. I the way Tank was preparing for it and the way it looks like he was those opening rounds, he was just waiting to catch him like a hunter, just
That's
setting his
how all
trap,
of his
just
fights
filling
go.
them out,
Yeah.
getting it going. But that's what the
another
greats
thing
do.
that helped too. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
Another thing that helped too was getting in his head the way he gets in
did.
their heads,
Yep.
like all the pre-fight interviews, meetups, face-offs. Like that's all part of it, and it makes you let's say it makes your opponent
here.
think that you're that much bigger, you're that much faster, you're that much stronger. You're already in his head. And he's telling them, I'm going to fuck you up because I already got you beat here. And you know,
That's what-
people think that he's just going to come out and knock a dude out in the first or second round.
No.
Bro, nobody going to do that right now. Like
Especially at that small of a weight
A
class.
belt
you know what
on
I'm
the
You
saying?
line.
haven't seen someone like that would say what Roy Jones Jr. when he
a
was out
belt
there?
on
He
the
set up
line,
his next
Yeah.
fight.
millions, you know, for your purse. You obviously get more when you win. The people that you got their shit on your shorts and all that shit, dog, like all your endorsement deals, bro. If you win, you obviously get more that you take it home, dog. So when all that is on the line, bro, it even goes back to me saying when you making that much and you fighting that much and you defending your belt that much, they don't give a damn if they go to a decision because they know they're not going to get beat that way, bro. They just got to score points and carry a motherfucker. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, did Canelo not in this past fight? Oh, no, it was this past fight. Right when the interview started after the fight, he said they were like, it looked like you were carrying him through the like 6th and 7th round. He said, well, yeah, because I mean, I could have knocked his ass out then, but for what? Like, Canelo was showing more class as a boxer by just not knocking him out, but scoring the big enough points to where the ref came in and stopped the fight.
Yeah.
See, and that's what he meant by carrying him. You know,
And
like
also, I'm also thinking maybe do you think it also goes back to pay-per-views too, where
That's what
if
it's
I
all
knock this dude out in the first round on this fight, people ain't finna
Pay for
buy
the next one?
because they might think it's just going
it
to be.
depends. Do you love the
Exactly.
sport? I mean, because if you love the sport, you understand that can happen with it.
But a lot of people, when it comes to big name fights,
When
like that,
basketball
they-
starts, you can't fast forward the clock to the fourth quarter because you bored,
Yup.
motherfucker.
That's
Fuck
true.
what your girl talking about. I don't want to be here. So what?
You ain't lying. Man, we're gonna talk. There's a new. I was gonna segue to a new segue real quick. Something crazy that just caught my eye, which is because I feel like 4th of July coming up. And every time we do 4th of July, they do the hot dog eating contest, right? The Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
that dude that got canceled
Yeah,
out?
Joey Chestnut, man, he got banned from it. He ain't allowed to do it because he's now being sponsored by a different hot dog company.
Isn't it vegan?
So they
hot
don't
dogs?
want them. Yeah, they don't want him there. And so this will be the first time in I don't know how many years you're gonna have a new hot dog eating champion.
Well, I'll tell you, there's got to be a lot of money involved in that shit. And that's
Bro, that is an American.
Isn't that wild?
that's a certain community that we cannot, you can't speak on. Like, I just say it's different. Hey, people are into what they're into, dog.
Yup.
Hot dog eating, you get
Competitive eating. It's its own class. It's its own thing. I just thought that's a really cool like fun fact. Like now you ain't gonna see because you usually see every time you wake up July 4th, ESPN. It's Nathan's, it's the Pier. They're out there doing the hot dog eating contest. And you always see Joey Chestnut with all his belts.
What city and state does this get hosted in? Do you know?
It's like New York.
Coney Island.
Yeah, Coney Island.
Okay, see, there you go. See,
Yeah.
like that community right there. That's what I said. I can't speak on it because I don't know what brings the hot. Like, where's that? Where does that? Where does that rain from?
I think that's equivalent to like having a brisket or a goddamn.
Where does that rain from? Yeah, I didn't know.
A brisket or
I think that's where Nathan's original one is.
July.
I think that's like the original hot dog from over there.
I got it. According to legend,
Yeah, the Coney dogs come from Coney Island.
Yeah. According to legend, on July 4th, 1916, 4 immigrants held a hot dog eating contest at Nathan's famous stand on Coney Island to settle an argument about who was the most patriotic. A man by the name of Jim Mullen is said to have won the first contest, although accounts vary.
I thought you was gonna say Chestnut.
Joey
Joey
been doing it that long.
Chestnut he's won the last 16 though.
I know. It's so like
last person lost to was the Asian dude.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's won the last 16, but he's a 16-time champion.
When you do it, what are the rules behind it? Do you have to can you
get
do it how you want? Can you just mush it up?
However you want. You just have to
you can eat the bread by itself. And
so most of them do is
you have to eat the bread and not damn hot
dip it
dog.
in water. They dip it in water. You've never seen it? They do a whole.
That shit is disgusting.
I ain't gonna show you. I ain't gonna show you.
We go into
think about some.
This next subject we're gonna end up with is we're gonna talk about Terrence Shannon Jr. Some crazy stuff happened to this kid. He is an ex-college basketball star from the University of Illinois. He was projected to be a number 1 draft pick right before it started coming out for the draft, and he was getting done with the season. He got reported of rape allegations from a girl.
Damn.
Because of the rape allegations, he lost the draft status. The school kicked him out. This past Friday, a jury trial found him not guilty, and they acquitted everything.
Okay.
Since then, he's tried to make his way back, and since now after the acquittal, he's actually projected in this upcoming 2024 NBA draft on June 27th to be a 27th overall pick to the Timberwolves. Back then, when he was playing, his last season, he averaged 26 points a game, shot 48 from the field, shot 40 from the 3-point, and was a menace.
What grade is he?
I believe he was there for like 2 years.
I don't think he'll be drafted, even though he's projected.
But
I don't think he'll be drafted just because
he's
ain't
just
no
being,
team gonna want to face all the media. Even though it ain't gonna be backlash, it's just gonna be that kid. They're gonna look at it like this kid comes with a lot of baggage.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks about shit like that.
And that's what I was gonna get to. Where like how one little false accusation can mess up your whole life, can mess up everything you worked hard for, even though you was in the right, and even though you found you were proven innocent. It's still not good enough in the public eye for some things, and I just feel like that's bad. I'm glad he was found not guilty. He's only going to do no time that he didn't deserve. It sucks that he got to get kicked out of the school, but just the fact they think he could have gone number 27 just after this quick of being acquitted means there's some work for him. There's some hope for him. He might be an undrafted free agent. Somebody might give him a shot. He might be able to fulfill his dream and go into the NBA. But it's crazy how one little thing can just ruin you. And one fall, they've done plenty of times. You were talking about who was it? You were bringing up another example.
Alex Okafor. Back in the day from Baylor.
Yeah.
But for him, I think they found him guilty. They actually sat him down in jail for a couple of years. Then it came back. The girl lied. And he was that guy is projected 27th.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was projected top 5.
Yeah.
And
that's
he
crazy.
was supposed to be Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
2.0 or whatever. He was supposed to be that dude.
It was Sean Oakman.
There you go, Sean Oakman. I'm sorry
There you
about that. But yeah, man, he was a talented individual, same situation. But as far as that kid, I don't think he's gonna see that draft pick. And honestly, for that kid personally, if I was in that situation, I don't think I would much rather go undrafted.
Yeah.
Here's why. As a first round pick, it's already enough pressure on you to perform, right? Your first 30 interviews, no matter where you go, ESPN, your first round pick, you're going to ESPN, FS1, you're doing the big media circuits, right? Your first 30 interviews. So whether it's how does it feel to get acquitted, how does that impact your life, no matter
it's gonna
what,
be brought up,
right? That's gonna stick with him forever. Even OJ, who didn't do it for the rest of his career, that stuck with him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Regardless, that's in.
Because it's all
I know we don't want to hear it.
That's all you're gonna think. That's all you're gonna.
I know we don't want to hear
doesn't
it.
make the NBA or nothing.
Yeah.
If somebody wants him on the podcast, what do you think they're gonna want him on the
talk about,
podcast for? You know what I'm saying?
I know we don't want to hear it, but this kid's going through the ringer, and he got acquitted and found out she was lying. They swept that Josh Giddey shit under the rug. We ain't even brought that shit back up.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like no different than there's an ESPN 30 for 30. What is it? Truth Lies, where the Duke lacrosse team, they were going all the way to national championship. Had a party. Some strippers came. One of the strippers said she got raped by like 5 of the guys. They got suspended. The news went crazy saying it was a bunch of privileged boys, taking advantage of a girl. Turns out she was lying to him, but it wasn't until 3-4 years later down the road. And then it ended up becoming a ESPN 30 for 30, how some people's lives just get sidetracked because sometimes false accusations get made up and sometimes people just run with it. And it even as us as a podcaster, sometimes we get information and we just throw our opinion and we throw out in and we might not even know if it's true or not. We're just giving us our own. But it happens. That's just the day we live in now. Just everything is so socialized and put on the TV and internet, and it's so hard to keep away from little things. And I'm glad he got it. Like I said, he quitted, but hopefully he makes it to the NBA. But at least they still think he's good. Yep.
And
But make a shirt that say Dabba for president.
They get them on the same chart. They get
Dabba Dweeb for president on the shirt.
So before we get up out of here, Bino, man, let the people know where they can get at you if they want to get a hold of some custom shoes or just reach out to you, follow you, see how you're doing and what's going on.
Yeah, Ben Stangin Customs. You can hit me on all social media platforms. You can email me at benstangincustoms@gmail.com. And shit, if y'all need anything, just holler. Just inbox me. Big things coming up. Staying active, staying busy. So, look forward to what's to come.
Yeah, man, I'm looking to see when that player is going to be wearing your shoes, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them things come out and we get to watch and be like, man, that's the homie.
Yeah, hell
Lucky,
yeah.
man, what you got going on? What you got for the people? Anything popping off?
But before we get out of here, I just want to touch on that last subject one time. Because, dealing with somebody who trains a bunch of young athletes, my word to them and my message to them is, just be smart, bro. I tell everyone I'm come across, bro, be smart. And, whether that's, man, this chick drunk and she might wake up and she might remember she said yeah, but she might wake up and say no. My nigga, just, you know what? I'm going to leave you alone tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Because if you got game like that, you can get her anytime you want to. And if she really out there like that, catch her when she's sober. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that risk is not worth that reward. It's not worth your scholarship. It's not worth your education. It's not worth your future career. For this bimbo, hell no. That's all I got. Lucky Lamar.
Hey, real quick before we do go, just shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods, Alpha 6 Corporation. My nephew, Nia Smith, again, got big things coming with
Can
them.
I get a nice autograph, please? I'm a massive
You know,
Eagles fan.
So, yeah.
I love a nice autograph.
Got some big things coming.
Before
man.
we get
Just-
up out of here, shout out to our homie Rod, man. Rod, he's a wrestling student over there at the Galvin School of Wrestling. He just came out on WWE Raw this past Monday here in Corpus Christi. He was one of at the end they do. I don't really follow too much wrestling, but I think the Wyatt Six or something. They're
it's a
He's
taping,
in it?
right?
Yeah.
He's in the Wyatt Six?
No, they just basically made their reappearance or something, and he was one of the people that they had beat up prior to
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was about to say, if he's a part of the Wyatt Six,
I'll put it up. I'll put it up
I
after.
am a massive WWE
That's pretty
fan.
dope.
I'll put it up after.
Let's bring it up, man.
WWE
Shout him out, dog.
any
Shout
day.
him out.
Yeah,
Like,
shout
hey,
out
congratulations.
to Rod.
He's
Yeah,
from
shout out
Corpus.
to you, bro.
Chief.
Shout out to Big Rod.
Yeah.
Hit him with the button, King.
Yeah,
Give him a brr.
Hey, how about we do this too? If he needs any custom wrestling shoes,
Hey,
Oh yeah.
hit him up.
holla
Hit
at
him
me.
up.
If you watching this, hit me, inbox me. We'll
I'll
make
get you
something
his
happen.
info.
Yeah, we'll make something happen. That way,
Shout
when
out to
you,
the
when you
Galvin,
do your
man.
bit,
Shout out to him. Shout out.
do your bit, man. I got you.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Can Too. If I can, you can too. DJ Little King in the background. Lucky Lamar, thank you for being out. Ben Customs coming up here. This is Ryan High Podcast Studios, Ryan High Sports, and we out.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Dabba in the background with
For real,
me,
I need
man.
that nice.